Well, is it better to ask for permission or to ask for forgiveness? A small business in McCall is learning the answer to that question in their battle with the city over how they can bedeck their building. They sell clothing, but they decided to decorate their roof with hundreds of brightly colored water skis. Is it a violation of city code or a temporary art installation? Aspen Shumpert went up to McCall to try to answer that question.
Inside, you can look around for a McCall hoodie or a t-shirt, something to make you remember the town.
We've really tried to capture the essence of McCall, give people something to leave home with, to memorialize their trip there.
That was the same idea for what you see on the store's roof.
A lot of people learned how to water ski on Payette Lake, and we had access to a bunch of water skis that we had collected over the years.
Cade Huskinson is the owner of Laketown Clothing Company, and he lined his roof with about 200 water skis back in the summer of 2023.
As we were looking at the building, it's the perfect length for some water skis, so we threw them up there and lined the roof line with water skis to kind of capture that spirit of McCall.
I personally like the aesthetic of the skis on the roof.
I think that's a great way to draw people into that business and having a more vibrant downtown.
But Huskinson quickly learned those skis weren't within city code and design standards.
It was just an aesthetic violation because of some of the bright colors on the skis and because the skis are made out of plastic and fiberglass. But at the same time, their comprehensive plan for what McCall is going to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years talks about public art and character and uniqueness.
And they're kind of fitting into that retro ski resort motif, and I actually love the color.
It fits in this town for sure. They're the people, boats, water skis.
Huskinson tried to appeal the planning and zoning decision, leading to a hearing with City Council back in January of 2024.
Admittedly, we did it without permission. I didn't know that I had to get permission for something like that.
For that hearing, at least 400 McCall residents wrote council wanting the skis to stay up and that they capture the character of McCall. But council sided with its staff, citing code obligations.
It's what we have written, and we're obligated to hold to that. But it highlights something that I've been frustrated with for a long time.
Huskinson took the skis down the next day with confidence council would reevaluate its design code.
Because I don't want 2 more years to go by and for you to feel that our code's messed up.
If they want a vibrant feel, then they need to let people do unique things.
And here we are 17 months later and it hasn't happened. It hasn't even been on the agenda. And to the city's credit, they have other things to worry about than skis on a roof. I'm not that naive to think that this would be the top priority on their list, but it's a top priority on my list and it's a top priority on my customers' list. And so I felt like I owed it to the citizens and owed it to my customers to put the skis back up.
So, after tired of waiting 17 months for a change in code that hasn't happened yet, he put the skis back up this month, giving the people what they want.
We've received countless people have been reaching out, supporting us. They've been reaching, I walked into the hardware store the other day and one of the ladies that I know pretty well there started applauding because she saw the skis there. While we were putting up, a man on his bike rode by and he's like, "The skis are back. Yeah, let's go." I've got the voice of the citizens that are saying, we love what this did for McCall. And then I have the city who's also saying, we love what it did for McCall, but it's not up to code.
As a fellow business owner, I'm always trying to find a creative way to decorate my business and make it as unique as possible. So I understand putting them back up.
So the skis have been back up for about a week. I actually have an extra one here in my hand that didn't make the cut to get back up. But the owner tells me that the plan is to take them down at the end of the summer because some council members had concerns about snowfall and people having to walk underneath that. He did send council and the mayor a letter letting them know that he put them back up. We reached out to the mayor, city council, and a few city staff members to ask them about that. Neither of them were able to give us a comment today, specifically an interview, but their communications director said they did receive that letter. They're working on a response to that letter, and they're reminding businesses and residents to follow the protocols. But she did say that they plan to revisit the design standards in the upcoming fiscal year when they do a comprehensive plan update. Brian.
Okay, so Aspen, this first started back in 2023. A lot of people like seeing these skis on the rooftop. They want to have a vibrant downtown. Why is this taking so long to get this code to kind of mesh with what they want?
Yeah, 17 months of kind of trying to figure out, can we put them back up? What do we do? And the communications director tells me it's been this delay because the city feels it's better to evaluate something like this when we're talking about design standards, when there's an opportunity to do it at a larger scale, like a comprehensive plan.
Okay, so I guess then we'll just wait to see at the end of the summer. We'll be taking it back down, see how it goes from there. All right, thank you very much, Aspen.